Good evening, I'm your host Jay Clark and welcome to the Scary Nighttime Radio Show. We hope you enjoy tonight's show, which is entitled Pits of Hell Part 2. The Next Wave.
The gang of 8 are sitting around a campfire that they made from wood and debris from the destruction and chaos earlier. Officer Murphy is getting off of a phone call. He then addresses the group.
Well, everyone, it looks like there will be no military forces coming. We're on our own.
But Officer Murphy, how could that be? We're in a state of emergency.
They should be sending out the National Guard.
Yes, they should, Jessica, but it seems that the sinkholes have been spreading. They are not limited to here in the state of Connecticut anymore. National Guard resources are being sent to high population areas like the bigger cities. I guess Hartford didn't make the list. Take a look at the TV screens in this sports bar ahead.
Everyone walks over to a nearby restaurant where all the TV screens are tuned into news channels. Citizens are viewing in stunned amazement.
Yes, Brian, it seems the reports were correct. We've got thousands of sinkholes that have been forming along the eastern seaboard, all the way from Halifax, Nova Scotia to Miami, Florida.
There have been several people who have fallen into the sinkholes after getting curious and too close. We caught a few of these on camera.
I'm falling into the sinkhole!
Help me! I'm falling into the pit!
There's no telling how far they will fall. These pits seem bottomless from what we can tell. Drones have been sent down there but never returned back out again.
We have an unofficial death toll of at least 1,200 who have been killed either by being swallowed up into the pits or killed by the beasts that have been emerging from the craters at nightfall. Any information on what these creatures are and where they came from, Jessica?
No more than what's being reported, Brian. Many religious groups believe that these beasts climbed up from the bowels of hell and are here to wreak havoc on mankind. A sort of end-of-day scenario. Scientists, however, believe that these creatures live deep underground in some type of sub-earth environment, probably in a series of caves and massive underground tunnels. They're theorizing that there is an entire underground world that we humans never knew even existed.
Jessica, do scientists know if the pits were caused by the creatures so they could attack us or if the holes occurred naturally?
They don't have an answer for that just yet, Brian. It may be that underground caves and tunnels simply collapsed and caused the sinkholes to form.
The group then files out of the bar and back to the campfire.
Oh man, so these sinkholes are forming all over the East Coast now?
That's what it looks like, Frank. So why don't we all just head west to avoid these sinkholes and the horrid beasts?
Foo, the interstates are in pretty bad shape. Huge pits have formed on the roadways and many bridges are out. Traffic is at a standstill. People are abandoning their cars.
What about getting on a plane and flying out of here?
Well, Rohani, I've been told that our local airport, Bradley International, has been closed due to sinkholes on the runway.
And who's to say the pits won't start forming throughout the entire country anyway? They seem to be spreading quite rapidly.
You're right, Jonah. The way these things are spreading, they will probably be all the way to California soon.
Then there is really no place to hide, Professor. And if we run, look what happened to Eldon.
We shouldn't even be thinking about running or hiding, Kyle. We should be thinking about standing up and fighting these beasts.
That's right. We must fight them off. It will be daylight soon, so I doubt if they will reappear until nightfall. I'm going to regroup with my fellow officers and assess the situation, then try to recruit more townspeople to help battle these creatures. Try to get some sleep if you can.
Officer Murphy then leaves and the rest are left gathered around the fire.
Yes, I believe these beasts only will come out at night.
Like vampires.
I still feel bad about that poor guy Eldon though.
Well, Jessica, the dope shouldn't have ran away.
Oh, Kyle, don't be so cold.
No, he's right, Jess. We're going to need to all stick together if we're to survive this thing.
Rest in peace, Eldon.
I've been meaning to ask you, Foo and Kyle, where exactly did you two come from anyway? We were driving down that road last night, see a ball of light, and then we see you too.
Yeah, how did that happen?
When you drove up to us, I figured you wouldn't believe our story. But now I guess things have changed.
After what we've all been through, I'd believe just about anything right now.
I'll agree to that, Jonah.
If a mythological creature can come to real life, I'm open to believe anything, my friend.
Okay, well, it all started when Kyle and I were on campus at Syracuse University about 6 months ago. We found out about a company on the internet that claimed it would transport us to any destination we desired as long as we downloaded their app.
And agreed to their terms of service.
We didn't really read the terms in the agreement because we figured it was all nonsense anyway, so as a gag we downloaded it just to see what would happen.
It turns out that it actually didn't work, and we were immediately transported to wherever we asked. Las Vegas, Paris, Tahiti. Are you all still with me?
So you're saying you were automatically transported there? There was no airplane involved?
That's right. You don't believe us, do you?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I've also been instantly transported to a distant place without the use of an airplane. I believe you.
Well, after our third destination, we found ourselves in a parallel universe. It was a lot like our Earth, but not exactly the same. Apparently, on the end-user license agreement was a clause that said we would agree to transfer over to this parallel universe
to help them fight in their world war. They are in the midst of World War III in that dimension. We were going to have to stay there working in a coal mine until the war ended. We would mine coal to keep the factories running to produce more weapons of war.
Oh my, that sounds horrifying.
How did you escape and make it back into this world?
After several months of working there, we learned by talking to others that the portal to the parallel universe was in a heavily guarded government building, about a mile away from us. It seemed impenetrable.
One day that building was bombed by the enemy and several guards were killed. We took our chance and made our escape using access badges of fallen guards to reach the room where the portal was located. Soldiers started firing at us. We saw the portal and jumped through, not knowing where we would end up but knowing we would be killed if we stayed behind.
That's when you saw the ball of light down the road and we appeared. The portal took us to that exact spot.
Thanks for sharing your incredible story. Jessica and I have had some paranormal experiences ourselves, so we believe you.
Thank you, Frank. I never would have believed it myself if we didn't experience it.
I guess we all have our own stories about extraordinary experiences.
Jonah, you said you were also instantly transported to a faraway place? I'd like to hear that story.
Perhaps Jonah can relate that story to you later. We should try to get some sleep like Officer Murphy suggested.
Absolutely. We've got a big battle coming our way tonight. We need to get our rest.
The group decides to try to get some shut-eye around the fire. Frank and Jessica use a blanket they brought with them.
Frank, will you stop hogging a blanket?
You're the one hogging the blanket, Jessica.
Hey you two, I'm trying to sleep.
After a number of hours of sleep, the group starts waking up. It's now daytime. Rohani has fallen asleep onto Jonah's shoulder. He gently wakes her.
Huh? What? Oh, I guess I must have fallen asleep on your shoulder. I'm sorry.
It's quite all right. Don't worry about it.
Foo wakes up to an unwelcome surprise.
Pu. What is that awful smell? Oh Kyle, get your stinky feet out of my face.
What? Oh, sorry buddy. I didn't realize they were in your face, dude.
Those feet really stink, man. Remember you didn't shower last night.
Well, you don't exactly smell like a basket of roses either, dude.
Okay, boys, settle down.
Jonah then takes a look at the sinkhole and realizes that it has tripled in size.
Oh wow, look at the sinkhole now.
It's increased in size by 2 or 3 times.
We're going to have to back up our perimeter now. We don't want to get too close and fall in. I've been recruiting townspeople who will use their own firearms. We've got about 50 fighters so far, plus 6 fellow police officers. The rest of the officers are dispersed throughout town. We have 3 other open pits in this city, but so far this is the only one the beasts have been coming out of. Oh, by the way, this is Officer Rivera.
Hello, folks. How is everyone holding up?
We're hanging in there. Nice to meet you, Officer Rivera.
Let's all try to stick together and we'll get through this.
I just got off the phone with our next door neighbors. Our house is still there, but down the street away they didn't fare so well. Tom and Mersada Johnson's house got completely swallowed up by a sinkhole with them in it.
Tom, get up. Something is happening to the house.
What's with all the noise? Mersada, I'm trying to sleep.
Get over here and look out the window.
They look out the window to see that their house is falling into the sinkhole.
Oh my gosh, poor Tom and Mersada.
On the other side of town, A couple is seen driving down a city street using the GPS for directions.
Turn left at the next intersection.
No, don't turn left, Zachary. There's a giant sinkhole there.
It's too late. Security. I already turned.
The car plummets into the sinkhole.
Recalculating.
The police officers start getting everyone organized for the upcoming battle at night. They set up barricades to close off the area. Townspeople get their weapons ready, and people start choosing their positions to shoot from. Hours pass and nightfall finally comes. Frightful noises from the beasts are heard. They start coming up out of the pit. Many dress for battle with swords and armor.
Okay people, fire at will.
The townspeople battle the creatures with their firearms. There are many more beasts than before. Some of the creatures break through the gunfire and confront the people face to face.
Get them off of me!
The people kill the advancing beasts, but not before 4 men are dead. Suddenly flying creatures are seen emerging from the pits.
They can fly now. Are those Rakshasa too? Rohani.
No, I don't think so. Although some Rakshasa can shape-shift and become whatever form they wish, I don't think we have reached that level yet. These are probably other beasts they recruited from the bowels of hell to help them fight us.
Whatever they are, we've got to kill them as well. Turn your guns upward and blow them out of the sky.
Few of the flying beasts are able to make it through, swoop down and attack the shooters. Some of the flying beasts pick up men as a bird picks up its prey and releases them down into the pit. Half a dozen more men are killed. Finally, the people are able to defeat the flying beasts. At last, all seems calm.
Well, it looks like we made it through this round, but we lost a lot of good people.
I've counted 10 dead. 12 people are wounded and being tended to by the other officers and paramedics.
That's a lot of carnage. We suffered a huge toll tonight.
And you're saying the next round tomorrow night will even be worse, Rohani?
Yes, I believe so, Officer Murphy. The next round that comes out tomorrow night will be known as the Natyan. This form of Rakshasa has the ability to shape-shift.
What does that mean?
It means they can assume almost any shape or form they wish. They could appear as human beings if they desire.
Oh, that's horrifying. Now we won't be able to tell them apart from other people. They'll blend in with everyone else.
Exactly. That's why we need to stick together. If one of us wanders off, it may not be the same person that returns. It may be a Rakshasa in disguise, and we won't even know it.
Until they start devouring us limb by limb.
We've got to all stick together then. I'll let the other townspeople know what Rohani has predicted.
I noticed this with this last group. Many had swords and battle armor. Can we expect more weapons from the next wave?
Oh yes, I expect them to have powerful guns and other weapons. It's going to be a fierce battle.
Creatures with guns and the ability to disguise themselves as regular people among us? Last night we lost 1 man, tonight we lost 10 and have 12 wounded. I'm afraid if we don't get help from the military we may not survive the next round.
We need more firepower. We need Navy jets to swoop in here and send a missile down that crater.
I'll get on the phone to them now and plead for assistance. It's our only hope. May heaven help us once again.